The community of Enterprise has seen a host of development happening in the area since the PVPC government took office in August of 2020. A rehabilitated community center, health center, and primary school, along with several roads rehabilitated in the area, are just some of the initiatives completed thus far. These initiatives were able to come off the ground after several ministerial visits. Today, we're here in Enterprise to talk with citizens about these developments in their community.
There has been a lot of developments of recent and over the past few years in Enterprise. For instance, we had a lot of ministerial outreaches. There were several ministers, apparently over a dozen ministers came to Enterprise. We had a lot of ministers come, and we had a lot of discussions with them. We had a lot of improvements. Like for instance, we have the roads. We have rehabilitated a lot of roads in Enterprise. At least 8 roads have been rehabilitated. We have done some work on the lighting in Enterprise, on the main road coming into Enterprise. On the other side of Enterprise Gardens, we have done some work there. They have work going on. They recently refurbished the school, the community center, the health center. We have the bridge has been repaired. We have the cleaning of the canal. We have the cleaning of the sideline dam. All of these things have been improving and getting better day by day.
I born and grew here. That's over 60 years, 62 years. Well, for the past, let me say, 2 years and over since they had a change of government, we've seen a lot of developments, a lot. Some people might not see that, but we are seeing it. And the reality is there to show, to prove, right? For instance, our roads out there, they did after the thing happened, right? And so much things happened for the 2 years. They have, for instance, in the community, they developed the community center, the center council, which I'm a part of, right? And for years, that was in a deplorable state because I think sometime last year, the Minister of Home Affairs were here. And when we stand and look at the center, the vegetation was so big. And even last year, Minister Charles Ramson came, and that was a blessing to this community. Because when he came here, he went to the community center, and that building was dilapidated. It looks like nobody lives around here, which it is far from what Enterprise had years ago. Enterprise was counted after Border Cricket Ground was Enterprise. And when it turned to that state, it looked like more, even cattle pasture got less vegetation than what we had here. And the minister said he see what was happening, the rundown, and today the community center looks, it's not 100%, but at least it's getting there.
What was the school like here before it was rehabilitated?
Well, I'm in bad condition. The roof when I leak plenty because since 2018 I work here. The roof is very bad. When all of a flood, when rain fall, the whole place is wet. The water come down from the floor and come to the bottom. Yeah, but since they put on the new roof and everything, yeah, right.
So you told me you have a granddaughter coming to the school. The school, they put on a new roof, they do the guttering, they painted, they put in some new windows, some fans and stuff. How do you feel about your granddaughter having a more comfortable environment for her to learn in?
Yes, I feel good about it because like how the son had the place, I have fan installed now. I have, they can give us study better, more comfortable.
How important do you think it is for government officials to meet on the ground with residents of various communities? I've been talking to persons and they've said they had a lot of ministerial outreaches here.
Yes.
That could have been able to help with the development that has happened here. How important are those outreaches in your view?
It's very important because then the ministers will know what's happening within the community and what's the problem, right? And how they could go about to resolve it, to at least to let us be comfortable within the community. We had a footpath done, right, which is accessible from the two village, right? Most of the kids would come from the block XXX area, right, which is just over the like a silent. So they would need access to come to the Enterprise Primary School. So we actually got that footpath bridge done, so it could be easier access for them to go to school. And we had another walkway done, right, from Enterprise Garden to Enterprise, which is accessible for the kids them to at least, or person to come over into Enterprise. So it was needed work to be done.
I've seen some development in the community, like the center has been refurbished. We have a good center. The ground also has been refurbished. I see some work have done on the school. I think the school is fully refurbished too. I also see some roads has been fixed in the community, which is very, very, very good. And I must compliment the government for fixing some of the roads, but I think that we still have some roads to finish. We also see that they do a bridge for us. Two bridges, they repair one bridge and give us a new bridge. I think in all that I think they are making some progress.
So I'm here talking with Razia Ali from Enterprise. Now, this young lady has been very integral working with youths in the community. But before we get into what she has been doing, Razia, tell me a little bit about you and what you've been doing academically.
Okay, so I am currently pursuing a bachelor's degree in finance and leadership, management accounting. I am also doing an associate's degree in computer science. So it is because of the computer science part that it's like a hobby. So that is how come I ended up in the field of robotics in my community.
So the youth group here, they recently got third place at a robotics competition that was hosted in Korea. Tell us a bit about the group.
Okay, so before going to the competition, the Department of Youth, in collaboration with STEM Guyana, they would have hosted a robotics and coding training camp here at Enterprise Community Center. So there was a 5 weeks training, and it was because of this we were able to grasp the foundation and, actually take part in doing these things to know what we have to do. And then a couple of months after, they said, there's a competition. So we opted for it. We said, we're going to send up a team. So I was fortunate enough, along with my brother, we were able to coach a team of 5 persons. Young teenage persons within the age of 9 to 13. The competition was hosted by South Korea in August of this year. So they were tasked to identify challenges that they would have seen in Enterprise, and they had to build a robot to suit the same thing.
So identifying issues in enterprise and building a robot to deal with that issue. Now tell us a bit about how the group would have came up with what issue and then finding a robot to deal with that problem.
Okay, we actually had a few challenges while doing that because we were on a time constraint. We had like 2 days to figure it out and then 2 days to build. So at first they were kind of panicked, but then we sat down and we were like, okay, let's think about this. So they identified something that is prominent not only in Enterprise but in all the communities, I guess. They said, there's flooding, maybe because of pollution. We didn't just focus on the challenges. In the community, we tried how we can use the challenge and create opportunities. So one of the challenge is that in the trench, there would be lots of pollution. There would be dead animals on the road, stuff like that. So we came up with robots that would help to overcome these challenges. So one of the robots, they would collect the garbage from the trenches. They would take it to a compost site. Another, they would lift the dead animals and trees off and take it to that same compost site. Now, compost from this site was able to help farmers in our community to farm and, add the nutrients. Instead of having to go elsewhere, we were able to get it right here, which was kind of helpful. So the group, when we submitted, we got the bronze medal at the competition. So this not only allowed us to put our little community on the map on a domestic level, we were able to go internationally, which was a massive booster to the persons. And we're even thinking of hosting our own robotics club right here in Enterprise.
Tell me how you got involved in robotics.
The director of youth told me about it. And when he told me about it, I was like, oh wow, this seems very interesting. So I decided to join. We have to build 3 robots for 3 different challenges in the community.
So tell me about that.
So one of them were to the garbage in the waterways. So we have to build a robot to clean that. Then there was the fallen trees, dead animals on the road, so we built a robot to clean that. Then we have one to plow fields and water crops and fertilize the soil. So we won a bronze medal, which was very surprising since many countries did not even qualify for that. So.
Well, me born and grow in enterprise, roughly 56 years. A lot of people happy about the visit when the Minister of Finance come and started a lot of NIS problem in the community because some people had issue with NIS. So people satisfied. You might find some people not satisfied because you know NIS going sometimes. Sometimes you not find your contribution and you know they got you run around. So, but the minister is trying a lot. So far, the minister is doing a good job, and in this community, for the last 2 years, there's over 12 to 13 ministers come in this community, visit this community. Because when the minister come in the community, the people them get to ask questions, them ask things to be done. The minister promised certain things, like, for example, we had some real bad road in Enterprise. Some fix, some need to fix. They promised to fix it, but we can't get everything one time. So some might be up on the pipeline for though, we got to wait, we can't rush everything because remember Enterprise alone is not Guyana.
Yeah, I see lots of development. The bridge has been made, and the school repair, paint over back. We have the health center, the repair back. We have at least with 7 to 8 street in Enterprise. We have some street lights installed and so on. For the street lights and with the thieves them around and stuff, it helps to brighten up the places.